Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Twin State Podcast. We're your hosts, Luke and Jackson Hershey, twins from Charlotte, North Carolina. Same face, two opinions. And it's been a crazy week. We went to the Panthers game Sunday. And honestly, I don't think we were really expecting a win. We came into the season thinking that the Panthers would make the playoffs, and the last 2 weeks have been ugly. And so I remember we were driving down to the game on Sunday. Crazy traffic. We were just trying to find a parking spot. We got into the game about 10 minutes late, and the Panthers had already scored a touchdown. And then as we were walking in, we stopped the Falcons on fourth down, and the entire stadium was going crazy. Like, it was nuts. I haven't seen that many Panthers fans in Bank of America. I mean, I don't really remember that since 2015. Honestly, truthfully, I think there are more fans in that stadium than it'd been in a minute. I don't think it was. I think there's been a little bit more since
Yeah.
2015, but it's definitely been a hot second. And what we are more surprised by is how many fans that were there coming off two losses. But we definitely brought the energy. 30-0. That's the first time that's happened in close to 10 years. So it was a really big one for the Panthers. It looked like Bryce was kind of able to just turn things around since the end of that Cardinals game. So what we're hoping is that they clicked everything together. They all got their mojo going. And so going into week 4 against Drake and the Patriots, we can put something together. Drake's my guy, but I still got to get the Panthers a W. So it's going to be a very fun week for our family and just all the massive UNC fans and just the Carolinas. I think there's a lot of loyalty to Drake, but obviously the Panthers are the hometown team, so it'll be a very interesting week for. Yeah, I mean, my older brother's going to the game. We always cheer for the Mays, but you know, we're Carolina boys. Got to root for the home team and the Panthers. And college football was great this weekend too. I think. I mean, we were frustrated because we've been Auburn fans, and Auburn's just been on this drought. But they played Oklahoma, and they should have won. They should have won. In my opinion, the refs cheated them, and there's so many things. There were so many bad calls, and the SEC even came out and said they gave them a touchdown. That's the difference of a game in the SEC. But it was still a great weekend, and it shows that all those SEC teams, there's so many teams in the top 25. Like, there's so many teams that can just play. And so we'll see if Auburn can pick it back up around. I think they got A&M coming up, so that's going to be a great game. Penn State on Saturday against Oregon. We've had two Penn State guys in the last couple weeks on the show. So there's going to be a great week of college football coming up. But we got a really honestly just a special podcast this week with a guy that I've honestly looked up to, truthfully, since I've been little. We live in Davidson, North Carolina, and if y'all haven't heard that school, Stephen Curry played at Davidson College. So growing up, like, as our family, we always had season tickets going to Davidson basketball games. It was just really a core memory growing up, like getting to go to Davidson basketball camp in the summer and having the players as your coaches and just getting to watch them. And honestly, they always had a really good chance to make March Madness. So like the years they'd make March Madness, you get to see them play Kentucky. And the cool thing about Davidson is they just are really good at fundamental basketball. Like Bob McKillop, who was their coach, did an unbelievable job. And my favorite player growing up was Peyton Aldridge. He played at Davidson for 4 years. Honestly, got offered at a ton of schools across the country, but chose to play at Davidson and set school records. Was a huge player, probably one of the top, in my opinion, top 5 best players to ever play at Davidson. And we just got the opportunity to kind of sit back, hear his story from college, playing in a little bit of the summer league, and then going to play in Europe and what that's been like, but also kind of getting to go back into our childhood a little bit and get to hear his story. So without further ado, let's jump into Peyton Aldridge. Let's go. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Twin State Podcast. And we got an awesome guest hopping on with us today, Davidson basketball legend, professional basketball player. We got none other than Peyton Aldridge. Man, let's go for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, we're hyped to do this, man. This is sick. And we really just want to start off, just kind of hearing your story, and your journey. When you obviously play, professional basketball. First of all, how's summer been? Are you home now? Or are you still playing? What's that been looking like?
Yeah, so I've been home for a couple months now. I got
Yeah.
home middle of May, finished my 7th season overseas. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm just Ohio's home for me. So my wife and I are here. We've done a couple vacations, but summer goes by fast. I feel like I just got home and here I am getting ready to go over for another year. So it's gone by fast, but I'm enjoying the summertime for sure.
Does it feel like vacation when you're playing basketball in Europe? Like how what's that like?
Um, Yes and no. So it's very much a job, obviously, but so I try to take it serious, and I'll get worn down, and just from practice, you don't want to go do other things. But ever since my wife's been overseas with me now, we try to make more trips and do other things to make it more like a vacation. I would say my first couple years overseas when I was by myself, I almost looked as like I was gone for 9 months, and it was like I was just gone for 9 months, and I would still come home, and like home was home. But now
Right.
it's transitioned to the other way around. Like overseas is home because I'm there for 9 months, 10 months
Yeah.
of the year, and then when I get to come home in the summer, I get to see everybody, and that's more of my vacation.
Man, that's really cool. When do you go back?
So I haven't actually signed anywhere this year. I'm still
Yeah.
weighing a couple options, waiting for something to come in. I'm not going to go back to the team I was with previously. I was with the same team for the last 4 years, but they
Wow.
decided to go another way with the coach, which ended up having them go another way with me. So hopefully within the next week or two, I'll find something, and then I could be leaving as quickly as in like 3 weeks. So
Wow.
the process can happen pretty quickly. So we'll see.
Dude, that's wild. So you've been playing basketball for a long time. When did you do you remember kind of like what age you started playing?
Um, ever since I can remember, I had a basketball in my hands. Both my parents were coaches,
Oh,
so
that's
I was
cool.
just always in the gym with them. I can remember going back to like second grade playing at like the Y, like those things.
Right.
Third grade was my first grade playing AAU, and then ever since then I had played AAU. I do remember that. But like I said, both my parents were coaches, so I was just always in the gym, whether it was just watching practices or watching them play. They would play in leagues when I was younger, so just like that, yeah.
Man, that's really cool. So kind of growing up, you obviously had an insane high school career. What was kind of your favorite memory in high school just getting to play basketball?
Yeah, high school wise, we're a small school. We have about 400 kids in the whole high school.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
so in Ohio, it's not like 1A, 2A, 3A. It's just Division one, 2, 3, 4.
Hmm.
Four being the smallest, one being the biggest.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
we were Division 3, which almost the smallest.
Right.
And my junior year, we made it to the state Final Four, um, which was like the first time our school's done it. So that was a really
Yeah.
memorable thing. Just being able to do that, and with guys that I played with so much of my life, really growing up, it was really special to me.
Did you play any other sports growing up besides basketball?
I mean, yeah, as a kid, I played like up until seventh grade, I played soccer,
Wow.
and then seventh grade, started playing football, and I played baseball my whole life. So in high school, I played basketball, football, and baseball. I decided not to play football my junior year or my senior year to focus on basketball, but other than that, I played baseball all 4 years of high school.
Was it hard to give up football over basketball? Like was that a tough conversation to have with your family?
Yeah, so I mean, my family is basketball people,
Yeah.
so they understood, but it was just a difficult decision because I felt like I was letting my friends and teammates down that I wasn't going to play
Mm,
football. So it was a big decision that I decided probably in like May or June that I was going to, hey, I want to focus on basketball. I'm not going to play football this upcoming fall. I want to work on getting bigger, stronger,
yeah.
and doing that, and ended up breaking my jaw in June
Wow.
of
Holy crap.
my senior year. So I wouldn't have been able to play basketball because my mouth was actually wired shut for the first 4 weeks of August, I think.
That's
So I wouldn't have been able
crazy.
to play. But I had made the decision prior to not play. Um,
Dude,
yeah.
wait, how did that happen?
Playing basketball in June, I was driving through the lane, I got hit in the mouth, and it just kind of felt
Whoa.
like I wrung my jaw a little bit, you
Yeah.
know. So I just kept playing, and the team went to Subway afterwards, and I went to bite into a sub, and I couldn't break the bread. My parents were like, "Oh, you're fine. Just give
Oh,
it a
that's
couple
too
days, let it
funny.
heal up." That was like throughout the weekend, and Monday morning came. I was like, "Guys, I still can't do anything." So I went to the dentist. They took X-rays. They're like, "Yeah, your jaw's broken." So fortunately, I was able to play the rest of the July like recruiting period for basketball
Yeah.
because the guy pretty much like the worst thing you're gonna do is just so jaws usually break in two, like on both sides.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I only broke one side. He was like, the worst thing you can do is break the other side, but we're gonna fix it anyway. So sure enough, I got hit and broke the other side. Uh, because it was already like
Wow.
weak. But so we went in and fixed it though in August, and yeah, I was wired shut for 4 weeks. My first 4 weeks of senior year.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
yeah,
Yo,
That's crazy.
that might be the craziest thing I've ever heard. That
Yeah,
is
that's
insane.
tough. I'm not even gonna lie. Your mouth wired shut.
yeah,
Insane.
it wasn't the best time, but
And during recruiting season, how tough is that to have your mouth wired shut or play with like a broken jaw? Is that tough for you at all?
yeah. So I still played pretty well. The playing wasn't an issue. But it was, like I said, it was my junior summer, so that's when recruiting was really picking up. I was kind of
Right.
narrowing it down. I wanted to ideally have a school. I wanted to be committed before my senior season started in November, whenever it was. Um, so in June, I had taken an official visit to Davidson. That was
Hmm.
my junior year was the first year juniors could take official visits. Before that, had to
Oh,
be like
really?
year. Yeah. So I took that official visit to Davidson in June. Loved it. Loved the guys. Loved the staff. Loved campus. Obviously. Um, so then I broke my jaw, and it just kind of was like all these people wanted me to come visit, and I was like, well, I don't want to do it with a broken jaw, like.
Right.
And so like people kept hitting me up and just like overwhelming me, and I was just like, I love Davidson. Like, I don't want to confuse myself anymore. Like, I was planning on going to like Dayton and Creighton, and I was just like, I love
Interesting.
Davidson. Like, I don't see anything being better than this, and I don't want to confuse myself anymore. So finally, I think it was September 7th was the day. I had just gotten my stuff out, like probably right around the same time, maybe that day or before.
Really?
I told my parents, and my mom didn't want me going far away from school, so she was like, it was 7 hours from where I was from. She was a little sad, but I was like, I don't want to go anywhere else. So I called Coach McKillop, told him I was coming to Davidson, and he was thrilled. So
Was Coach McKillop expecting like? I mean, you had all those other schools calling. Was he expecting you to commit to Davidson that quick, or like was that a shock to him, or was he like kind of on the train the whole
um,
time?
I don't think it was too like he knew I had some bigger schools maybe interested. He was really good friends with John Beeline at Michigan, and
Hmm.
they were starting to recruit me near the end. I didn't have an offer. They told me, hey, they pretty much told me these two guys are visiting the end of September. If they don't commit on their visit, like you'll have the offer. I don't know if those guys ever committed there or not. I don't
Wow.
know because I had
Right.
committed to Davidson. I do remember when I did call John or Coach Beeline. I remember he answered the phone and he said, "Hey Peyton, how are you?" I said, "I'm good." He said, "You committing to Davidson?" And I was
You know.
like, what? Like, how do you know? Like, because I only told Coach McKillop at that point. Like, he was Michigan was my next call, and he was like, he said it's the only thing that makes sense. It's the best fit for you. Like, Coach McKillop's a great coach, and that like kind of reassured me because it was like I said, it was my first call after telling Coach, and Coach was thrilled. I was happy. It's where I wanted to be. And it was the first year in the A10 was
Right.
my freshman year, so it was that first transition into an A10 recruiting class. So it was
And
great.
y'all won the A10 that year, didn't you? The
Yeah,
first year?
I think we were projected to finish like 13th, second to last or last,
Wow.
and we ended up winning the A10 that year. So it was great.
Man,
That's so crazy.
I mean, and the best thing on top of that is like Davidson coming from a total different conference coming in, no one's expecting, and they just come in and like whoop everyone. It's awesome. Was how big? Like obviously, I mean, you were from Ohio, so going all the way to Davidson, that's a long drive. Did Steph play in there? Have any like? Was there any kind of like, I don't know, like drive to want to play there with Steph going there? Did that not really have anything to do with it?
It was it was cool to know that Steph went there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it played too big of a factor. Just because like I was really focused on academics and like my surroundings.
Mm,
And Davidson checked both those marks. I mean, there was
right.
at the time there was three other guys from Ohio. Um,
Yeah.
so that they and like just the camaraderie with the guys, it really clicked, and I was like, this is a group of guys I'd want to be around. They hang out outside the basketball court, just kind of stuff like that, and obviously the academics of Davidson really drew me in as well. So Steph may have played. It was more of like, oh, that's really cool that Steph played there,
Right.
rather than like, oh, I want to go there because Steph played there.
That's really cool. So once y'all got there, you immediately got some good playing time as a freshman, which is really awesome. Most guys don't get to do that. How awesome was it kind of to see your development over the 4 years and just watch you become one of the better players in the A10 throughout your 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I did put in a lot of time to work and get better, but I also want to credit my teammates and my coaching staff. Like,
Right.
I believe that giving someone confidence goes a long way. And Coach McKillop and the staff did that. And I think my teammates saw how hard I worked, so then they gave me confidence as well. Um, but just like accepting a freshman into the rotation is like, I feel like that can be hard sometimes. And like my teammates did it with open arms, and it was great transition. And like you said, just working all 4 years and just developing with. I remember after my freshman year, I watched a lot of film with Coach Will Regal on TJ Klein. He was at Richmond, just kind of his post game. And I think that really helped me take my post game to the next step, and then just kind of rounding myself out, being able to just continue to improve my shooting and just being a more well-rounded player. I mean, the coaching staff did a great job of getting me to where I am.
Yeah, bro, and you went to like you got to go to March Madness multiple times. Like what when you go into a game like that, it feels like I don't know, there's something special about like Davidson basketball. They play different than a lot of like they're just really good at fundamental basketball. Like they just I feel like they play better fundamental basketball than most teams do, especially today. What was kind of like your favorite memory of getting to play in March Madness and getting to be around that tournament?
Yeah, I do think we are a hard team. Davidson's a hard team to prepare for.
Right.
So maybe round one, it's a little bit easier because they know all week they can prepare for it. But if we would have won a game like round two, I think it would have been really hard to prepare for us because you have a 1 day turnaround to try to prepare for all the
Yeah.
cuts and the screens and the back doors and stuff like that. Um, but I will say my freshman year, obviously we wanted to do really well, but it was almost overwhelming because it's like my whole life you grow up watching March Madness, and here I am in this, as a freshman playing Iowa, who had Aaron White, Jared Utoff, all these guys who are seniors who I've watched play in the Big Ten. Being from Ohio, an Ohio State fan growing up, I'm watching these guys. So it was a little overwhelming as a freshman. You're almost just like, wow, I'm here. By the time my senior year rolled around and we made it and we were playing Kentucky, there was no more of like that. It was like, we're here. Like, we're gonna be competitive. We're here to win a game. And unfortunately, we're not able to win that game.
Right.
But it was definitely a different outlook and a different mentality that second time around.
And I mean, y'all gave them, I think it was like what, within a 5 point game, something like that.
Them by 6 to them. John Axel played really well that game. Me and Kellen did not have the best shooting performances, which definitely didn't help. But we were definitely right in there with them. And I mean, if you look at that roster of that Kentucky team, I mean, they're absolutely loaded.
It's insane. I mean, you're playing against like probably three guys went into the like the lottery that year. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, I remember sitting downstairs like in our kitchen watching that. I mean, it's cool, man. Like, I mean, we're literally like 15 minutes away from Davidson. Like, it's crazy. It's cool seeing y'all on that stage. So yeah, you were at Davidson 4 years. Was there ever a thought? And I know this is more of like a today thing, but was there ever a thought of like, man, I might end in the transfer portal. I might go to a bigger school. Was that ever like an even thought then, or not really?
Me, no. Like I said, me growing up, I was a huge Ohio State fan, and I would like to think that I had pretty good success maybe after my sophomore, even definitely after my junior year, that I could have like maybe tried to go back, but that never crossed my mind. Like Davidson was really home for me, and like that's where I wanted to be, and like it never crossed my mind. And like today, you said like with the NIL stuff, I get why guys leave now. I mean, it's life-changing money that they're really like some schools are offering. So I can't blame him today. Back then, that never crossed my mind though, because it was just like, one, I'm getting a Davidson degree. I was studying economics. I'm getting an economics degree from Davidson, and I'm getting to play basketball at a high level with the guys that I love and I love being around. So
Man, that's really cool. So after your time at Davidson, you went on to start pro basketball. You went to the NBA Summer League. I think it was the Jazz the first round. How cool of an experience was it to kind of get to join up with guys you kind of played against bigger stages like some Duke guys in Carolina and all across the country to kind of compete against different guys in the Summer League?
yeah, the summer league was a really cool experience. I got to, like you said, the first time I was with Utah, and both years I played in the summer league, we did the Utah Jazz Summer League, like the little pre before
Yeah.
you go out to Vegas. And what was really cool is both years I was in the summer league, some of the NBA guys were around. So when I was in Utah, Donovan Mitchell was around,
That's cool.
Rudy Gobert was around. So just like being around them and getting to watch them work out, it was really cool. And just being able to see like how the NBA player lives like around the facility. You get there before practice, they have chefs that cook breakfast for you. you practice, you can go down the training table, you can get whatever you need done. After practice, they have lunch for you. So it's like, and I mean, this is a chef cooking good food for you, So
Right.
it's your stuff. So like that was like the cool experiences I got to see. And like you said, just getting to play with different guys. Grayson Allen was on my team coming from Duke. Everyone, I'm sure you guys are Grayson Allen fans. You're wearing a Duke shirt. So
Yeah,
it's like
he's he's UNC and I'm Duke. That rivalry is crazy. We were literally talking about this today. That's funny.
I was with him, and I think I was with Tony Bradley one year. But just getting to be around different guys, just seeing their work ethic, seeing where they came from, and just competing with them every day in practice. It was really fun.
Yeah. How like the summer league is there a lot of pressure like in the like did you feel pressure going into the summer league because guys are trying to make teams like is there pressure there or is it just like another game?
So there wasn't. I wouldn't say there was pressure. There would be pressure, I guess, to perform when you're in because like the NBA has their guys that they think they're gonna sign as a two-way, stuff like that. So when you go into a team, there might be 15, 17 guys on the summer league roster, and they already have like 9 guys that they have like either they drafted or they played in their G League. So they have like a core that they want on the court. So like there's maybe 8 summer league games and you're only going to get to play in 4 because the rotation. They're only going to keep a 10-man rotation. So they're just like, you sit a game, you play a game. They'll tell you before the game, hey, you're not going to play today. Okay. So when they don't tell you that, you're going to play, but you're still only going to get 10, 12 minutes. So it's like in those minutes, you want to do everything you can without doing too much. So that was like the hardest thing my first year. In Utah, just trying to learn that way. And then my second year when I was with Memphis, I kind of learned the ropes a little better. Once again, I started not playing, and I think I played really well. So by the end, I was playing every game, and I was getting 15 minutes a game. And I think I played really well. So just being able to see that kind of go, like, see the coaches realize that too, because I went from not playing or playing every other game, and it's like, all right, well, Peyton's played 2 games well in a row. Like, let's keep playing him. Right. So it was cool to see that it was Taylor Jenkins. He was the Grizzlies head coach. Right. So it wasn't the G League guy getting a chance. It was the head coach of the Grizzlies that saw that. So it was cool to see that he saw my growth and saw that I should be on the court.
Dude, that's sick. That's sick. And then you ultimately, obviously, you went to Europe. Like, was that, I can't imagine, like, if I was in that spot, like, there's, like, a pro and a con, like, you're getting to play the sport you love, but then at the same time, you're leaving, like, everything you know. Like, was that tough at all, or was it almost like, you know what, I'm gonna embrace this. It's gonna be different, but I'm gonna go do it. Like, what was kind of your thought as you were looking at that choice?
Yeah, kind of going back to how I said like I viewed like being overseas as a vacation, like not. So I like my first couple years, I very much was like, I'm here to play basketball. I'm here to make a living. I'm here to make money. So I definitely like I dove in a little bit, but I was still like after practice, I was hopping on Fortnite with the boys for like 6 hours. And so it wasn't like I definitely wasn't like seeing what I should be seeing. And I always thought like I'm by myself. Like I don't want to go do things by myself. So like, but so it was definitely like I wouldn't say a culture shock because I was in Italy, which like Italy's a great country. So, but it was just things were different. Things moved slower than over like back home. Like it was much more relaxing. And like you said, I was there to play basketball, so I really just tried to focus on that. And I focused on getting back home in the summer, especially. Like, all right, especially when it came April, May, it was like, all right, like 1 more month and then I get to go home. But
dude, I bet the food is insane. Like we like you said, Italy. We went to Italy for the first time last year, and all I was thinking about was, dude, I could go to Italy like all I wanted. All I'd have to do the entire time, I don't care about seeing anything. I just want the food. Like if I could sit down and eat the pasta and the pizza, I'd be like, bro, this is chilling. I bet the food like there's been insane.
yeah, the food was phenomenal. I can't complain. My wife went there this past year when I was in Turkey. She went with her sister for 10 days. She loved it, the food. Wow. That's definitely one of the better parts. Obviously there's a ton of places to see in Italy, and I eventually went and did all those things. Don't get me wrong, I didn't just sit around all 10 months, but I've definitely grown since then, and I think that's just a maturity thing. I was 22 years old going overseas, and now I'm 29. Like I definitely learn more things, hang out with teammates way more, stuff like that. And now my wife's with me, so it's she makes me do a little more than I'm used to.
All right, last couple questions for you. Over your or I guess your basketball journey overall, what's the biggest adversity that you've had to face?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Um, I would just say, being overseas every year, you're really adjusting to a new coaching staff, new teammates, and even if you're with the same coach, you're getting new teammates. So you're constantly every year learning how to play. What's my role going to be? How can I assert myself but not do too much? So every year you're trying to adjust and you're trying to find a role. And like, I mean, it's been 7 years, and I mean, my role's kind of been different every year. You just got to find your niche. And like, probably my third year overseas, it was I took like the biggest step in my career at the time, but it was probably like a too big of a step where like I didn't play well the beginning half of the year, and they brought in new guys, and like I was still on the team, but like I was sitting out games. So that
Oh
was kind
wow.
of like I didn't play like the whole second half of the season. Like I was on the team getting paid and I would practice, but like I didn't like you can only play so many Americans. So
Right.
like I was out. So that was probably the toughest part like of my overseas career, is having to just sit out and just like in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm still getting paid, but you want to play, you want to compete. So that's the only time that's happened. I've been able to, I was fortunate enough to be able to find another team and bounce back and kind of work myself back up. Um, but that was definitely the hardest thing I faced, especially being alone. You're
Yeah.
just, you said like, you just want to, at that point, it's like, why am I even here? I'm just practicing.
Mm.
So, and like your agent's looking to find new teams, and the team won't let you leave because they want you in case somebody gets hurt. But it's like, but I'm not even playing. So it's like, it was tough. That's definitely the hardest thing I've been through. But I got through it, and it's all good.
Dude, I can't imagine like the mind games too. Like when you're there by yourself too, and like was it hard to like you're with guys that don't speak like they're not all Americans. Like did you have to like learn did you have to learn different languages every time you were in different places, or did most of them kind of speak English?
So 99% of my teammates that I've had, like literally, I can only think of like two guys that their English like wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So all the guys, I mean, they grow up like they're not like us where they go to college. Like
Right.
if they're good enough, they're playing with the A team like since they're 16 years old.
Shoot.
So if they don't speak English, they're learning it, or it's like, hey, I'm a basketball player, like I'm gonna take English classes because they know their teammates, they know their coaches, like they're gonna speak English, like and like so most coaches have spoke English as well. If they don't, they have a translator, which is a little bit getting used to. Um,
Yeah.
I had picked up a little bit of Turkish just because I had been in Turkey so long. I wouldn't say
There
I'm
you
good,
go.
um, but my wife and I, we just picked up some like just get around here and there, say hello, be able to
Yeah.
order at a restaurant, stuff like that.
Dude, how important, and I know you're a Christian, how important has your faith in God been through your basketball journey, going to Davidson, going overseas? Like, how important has your faith in God been for your journey?
Absolutely. It's you. I constantly have to rely on God. I mean, He's my rock, and my relationship with Him goes a long way because, like you said, even every year now, it's uncertainty. Like right now, I don't know where I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
and my wife doesn't know where we're gonna go, so she's kind of stressed. And it's like we both just rely on God. Like God has a plan for us. He's gonna put us where we're supposed to be. So we just need to give it to Him and just trust in His process and what He's gonna do. And then going through Davidson, there was times, I'm in econ and I'm just failing econ
Mm.
tests. My freshman year, I was taking econ 1. I remember calling my parents like, "Hey, I'm gonna have to transfer. Like, I'm gonna fail." Like crying to my parents because I was like, "I can't do this." And it's like, you're there for a reason. Like, you can do this. Like, and then I had great teammates around me that would pull me and help me go to church. We found different churches. We started with going to Elevation, and then we
Mm.
shifted to Lake Forest Davidson.
Yep.
We went there. Um, and then we had a Bible study going with Sid Druin, our pastor at Davidson.
That's really cool.
So it was we had like 4 athletes. And then by the time, I think it was my junior year, actually, we would meet with Sid, and then we would actually go and have like a bigger Bible study with the men's and women's basketball team, whoever wanted to come. So it was really cool to see that. And then overseas at first, like I said, it was really hard because I was alone, and
Yeah.
like it's hard to find churches over there. I'm playing on Sundays, so and like it's not the easiest to watch church every Sunday online and stuff like
Right.
that. So that was like a big test for me, just because I'm by myself. Um, So just having conversations with friends that could uplift me and just have me just turn back to God, trying to do daily devotionals on my phone, stuff like that, just to keep my relationship with God strong, because it is hard, it is challenging over there. And in the basketball lifestyle, like you're not finding uh necessarily the most like Christian guys
Right.
every team you go to. I was fortunate enough my first year in Italy to have a guy, Trey Demps. He went to Northwestern, and we had a Bible study going there, and he really helped me along my first year, get through it, just being able to. And it's just a break from basketball. You get to talk, you get to just fellowship with people who are Christians instead of having to worry about basketball, talking about basketball all the time.
Yeah, dude, I think that's so awesome. I can't I'm thinking about going to college next year, bro. That first econ class, especially Davidson. Davidson's not an easy school, like at
Yeah.
all. I can so see that. Dude, that's awesome. And yeah, and I think it's so cool. There's not a lot of athletes today that like publicly just share their faith, and I think that's really cool. That you're willing to do that. We were laughing about this the other day because I remember, dude, I don't even remember how old I was. I think I have a picture on my phone. We were like 8 or 9 going to Davidson basketball camp, and I remember because you were my favorite player, but I think Jackson got you as his coach for the week. So I vividly remember having Jackson just bragging to me all week yeah, I got Peyton as my coach. You don't have him, and then I think y'all won I don't remember. I think y'all won the championship at the end of the
I
week.
was
I
a
was just
successful coach at Davidson basketball camp, so there's a good championship.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Yeah, he got the MVP. Jackson's just all happy. I'm pissed off I didn't win. It's just awesome. But man, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. Everyone go follow him. We're excited to see where you're going to be going in the next couple of weeks, maybe. So we're hyped for you. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, it was a blast. Keep doing what you guys are doing. It's great seeing you guys do this and talk about faith and just talk about sports. It's great to see you guys doing this. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks.